You've already failed today, and you don't even know it yet. Most people lose the battle of life before they even get out of bed, not because they're weak, but because their mornings are controlled by comfort. Marcus Aurelius, the warrior emperor, warned us, "You could be good today, but instead you choose tomorrow." But as Napoleon Bonaparte once said, victory belongs to the most persevering, and perseverance begins the moment you open your eyes. So what if your morning is not just bad, but the real reason your life feels stuck? What if the way you wake up is silently shaping your destiny every single day? Every sunrise is a test. Some people rise with purpose, others rise with excuses. The question is, which one are you today? It'll show you 7 brutal Stoic morning laws that Marcus Aurelius himself would use to defeat laziness, procrastination, and fear. These are not tips, these are weapons. And if you use them, you won't just wake up earlier, you'll wake up stronger. So tell me, are you ready to win tomorrow? Starting today. Law 1, wake up with purpose. Not as a reaction. You've been waking up wrong your entire life, and it's costing you more than you realize. Not just time, not just productivity, but purpose. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." And perhaps you haven't truly begun to live every morning. Most people don't wake up with intention. They wake up because something forces them, an alarm, a notification, work, stress, pressure. But the Stoics believe that the morning is the first battleground. Win it and the entire day changes. Lose it and the day is already lost. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale, exhale. Let's begin. According to research from MIT, 82% of people check their phone within the first 5 minutes of waking up. And doing so increases stress hormones by nearly 33% before they even leave the bed. From that moment, their day becomes reactive, not directed. Life begins to push them instead of them guiding life forward. But Marcus Aurelius warned us, a man's life is what his thoughts make of it. And what shapes your thoughts? Your mornings, every single one of them. Say it with me, I choose direction, not reaction. Marcus Aurelius was not just an emperor, he was a warrior of the mind. Every morning he reminded himself, when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive. Not busy, not stressed, alive. Imagine tomorrow morning, you open your eyes, but before you touch your phone, you ask yourself one question. What would my day look like if I led it instead of letting life drag me? That question alone can change the architecture of your mind. Let's reset. Breathe in purpose, breathe out distraction. Now listen to this. Harvard followed 500 people for 10 years. They found that those who set a clear intention each morning were 43% more focused, twice as emotionally stable, and 3 times more likely to achieve their long-term goals. But only 7% of people do this consistently, which means 93% of people live on autopilot. The question is, which group are you in? Here's a simple Stoic morning ritual you can start tomorrow. Step 1, when you wake up, sit up, no phone. No noise, just awareness. Step 2, ask yourself one powerful question. If I were truly in control today, how would I act? Step 3, make 3 decisions. One thing you will control today, one thing you will let go of, and one act of strength you will do. Not motivation direction, a direction shaped by Stoic clarity. Let me tell you a real story. A 32-year-old engineer named James once wrote in his journal, "I am awake, but I feel dead." He started using a Stoic morning ritual, just a question a day. After 90 days, he quit smoking. He started an online business, and he got a new job after 6 years of feeling stuck. His words were powerful. "I didn't change my life. I just changed my morning, and my morning changed me." Reset moment, say it with me. Win the morning, win the day. Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman says the first 60 minutes of your day decide how your brain functions for the next 12 hours. If you begin with intention, you release dopamine and clarity. But if you begin with stress, you release cortisol and anxiety. Marcus didn't know neuroscience, but he understood this deeply. That's why he wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And your thoughts are shaped by how you wake up." So tomorrow morning, try this. Sit up before touching your phone and say out loud, "I lead life, does not drag me." Ask yourself, what is one thing I will control today? What is one thing I will let go? And what is one act of strength I will do? Write it somewhere. Look at it once during the day. And before you sleep, ask yourself, did I lead today? If yes, you win. If no, then you try again. That is Stoicism. Your morning is not only about productivity, it's about identity. You're not trying to wake up earlier. You're learning how to wake up as someone else, someone stronger, clearer, someone who leads. But waking with purpose is only the first battle. Next, we confront your toughest enemy, yet the alarm clock. And in Law 2, we will reveal why hitting snooze might be the most dangerous habit you have. So are you ready to continue? Let's move to Law 2. Law 2, don't negotiate with the alarm clock. Your day doesn't begin when you open your eyes. It begins the moment your alarm rings. And in the next 3 seconds, your life is defined. The Stoics believe that weakness doesn't begin when you fail, it begins when you hesitate. Because when the alarm goes off, your mind creates two versions of you, the one who stands, and the one who stays, the one who leads, and the one who delays, the one who wins, and the one who negotiates. Marcus Aurelius warned us, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Reset moment. Inhale, strength. Exhale, hesitation. Say it with me, I do not negotiate with weakness. The average person hits snooze 3 times every morning, meaning 180 hours a year are wasted lying in bed pretending to be tired. But studies from Stanford University show that after the first alarm, your body is actually at its highest readiness level. Your brain chemicals are primed for action. Delay destroys that momentum. Snooze isn't rest, snooze is resistance, and resistance is expensive. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, when you struggle to get out of bed, have this thought ready: I am rising to do the work of a human being. Not the work of comfort, not the work of chaos, the work of a human being." Let's imagine 2 mornings. Morning 1. The alarm rings, you negotiate. 5 more minutes. Comfort expands, purpose fades. The day starts soft. And soft mornings create soft minds. Soft minds create soft lives. Morning 2. The alarm rings and you rise. Not because it feels good, but because it is law. The first law of discipline. You didn't just wake up, you won. Say it with me. Win the first battle. Neuroscientist Dr. Nora Volkow discovered something powerful. If you stand up within 5 seconds of the alarm, your brain releases norepinephrine, the chemical of focus, alertness, and drive. But if you hesitate, cortisol rises, instead the chemical of anxiety and mental fog. One choice, 2 biochemistries, 2 lives. The Stoics didn't know neuroscience, but they lived it. Epictetus said, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" Let me give you a real story. A 26-year-old named Daniel battled anxiety, insomnia, and phone addiction. He tried everything, nothing worked, until one day he made a rule: no negotiations with the alarm clock. 5 a.m. Get up. No debate. No dopamine before discipline. In 4 weeks, lost 4 kilograms, read 3 books, ran 10 kilometers, stopped taking sleep medication. Why? He said, "I didn't fix my life. I fixed the first 10 seconds of my day, and those 10 seconds reshaped everything." Reset moment, inhale, exhale, hesitation. Now let's get practical. Tomorrow morning, the moment your alarm rings, count backward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stand. This is the Stoic launch. No debate, no resistance. Just execution. Reverse counting bypasses, argument mode. Your brain expects action, not excuses. Because your life doesn't need more motivation. It needs fewer negotiations. Marcus Aurelius said, "A person's worth is measured by the worth of what they value." If the first thing you value is comfort, comfort will quietly rule your life. But if the first thing you value is strength, your mindset transforms. That transformation isn't loud. It isn't glamorous. It isn't posted on social media. It happens the moment you stand up when no one is watching. That is stoicism. So tomorrow morning when the alarm rings, remember that sound is not an alarm. It is a summoning, a call to battle. Say it with me: I do not negotiate with weakness. I win the first battle. Because if you can beat the alarm, you can beat anything. And this battle is just the beginning. The next law forces us into one of the hardest Stoic practices: embracing discomfort. Can cold water really change your life? You're about to find out. Lahaya 3, cold clarity. From the moment you wake up, you've been trained to chase comfort. Warm blankets, hot showers, cozy clothes. But in the morning, comfort is the silent killer of momentum. Marcus Aurelius understood this. That's why he embraced what most people avoid: cold clarity. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. And each morning what stands in your way is discomfort." Reset moment, inhale, exhale. Now listen carefully. According to the European Journal of Applied Physiology, just 60 seconds of cold exposure can boost alertness, speed up metabolism, and elevate dopamine levels by up to 250% for hours. Instead of beginning the day half awake, you started chemically primed for clarity and drive. Marcus began his mornings by splashing his face with cold water, not because it felt good, but because it reminded him comfort is a choice. Strength is a decision. Say it with me: I will face discomfort instead of running from it. There was a real Roman soldier named Aurelius Maximus. Each morning he dipped his hands into icy water before writing his daily intentions. When asked why, he said, "If I cannot overcome cold water, how can I overcome life?" That line survives centuries because it's true. Comfort makes you weak. Reality makes you sharp. Neuroscientists call this process dopamine recalibration. When you voluntarily choose discomfort, the brain learns to earn its rewards instead of passively seeking them. More earning, less craving. That is resilience. Stanford's Dr. Andrew Huberman explains, "Cold exposure is not just physical, it is neurological training for resilience." Say it: 1 minute of discomfort for hours of strength. The Stoic cold ritual. Tomorrow morning, go to the sink. Splash cold water on your face 3 times. Breathe slowly. Whisper Marcus words. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Try it, then observe your focus. After 1 week, add 30 seconds of cold shower at the end. This alone can boost mood, reduce anxiety, and strengthen immune response. You're teaching your nervous system that stress is not danger. Stress is training. Let's reset. Inhale courage. Exhale fear. Lions don't wake up seeking comfort. Warriors don't wake up seeking ease. Marcus wrote, "Do not act as if you had 10,000 years to live. Sometimes truth needs to feel like ice." A modern example: Sarah, a designer from Toronto, struggled with anxiety and procrastination. Nothing worked until she began 1 minute of cold water every morning. Her words: "Cold water taught me that anxiety isn't dangerous. It's just energy waiting to be directed." Within 3 months, she doubled her income, overcame social anxiety, and restarted her fitness routine. Because confidence isn't built in the mind, it's built in the body. Say it with me. Action creates clarity. Tomorrow morning, when the water hits your skin, your body will scream stop, but your mind must stay calm. That moment is the birth of discipline. Marcus warned, "If it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. 1 minute. Every morning. Cold water. Steady breath. Calm mind. 4 words: I can endure anything." Because the morning is not about comfort, it is about conditioning. And once your body learns that discomfort is survivable, your mind will stop fearing it. Law to Confronting 4, the digital shield. You wake up and the first thing you do is surrender, not to the day, but to your phone, to notifications, to noise, to other people's priorities. Before your feet touch the ground, your mind belongs not to you, but to the world. And that is not a morning. That is an invasion. Marcus Aurelius warned us, nowhere you can go is more peaceful than your own soul. But how can peace exist when your first action each morning is to open the gateways of chaos? Let's look at the truth. Researchers at the University of Essex found that 72% of people check their phone within 10 minutes of waking up, and most of them feel anxiety within seconds, not minutes, seconds. Why? Because your brain moves from silence to stimulation too quickly. Cortisol spikes by up to 38%. Your nervous system shifts from rest to alarm. But what happens when the body wakes in alarm? It spends the whole day defending instead of creating. Marcus Aurelius did not have a phone, but he had distractions, battles, politics, war. And yet he began every morning in silence, because the Stoics knew if you do not win your attention early, someone else will. Let me tell you something strange. Social media apps were built using the same techniques used in casinos, the same psychology. Infinite scroll, variable rewards, unpredictable feedback. They are not tools, they are traps. And when you wake up and open them, you are not starting your day, you are feeding theirs. This is how the Stoics protected their mind. They built mental gates, Marcus wrote in Meditations. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. But today, we must build not only mental gates, but digital shields. You might say, but I need my phone for work. No, you need your mind for work. Your mind before your messages, your clarity before your chaos. Let me show you something real. A study from the Journal of Experimental Psychology followed two groups over 30 days. Group A checked their phone right after waking up. Group B waited 1 hour before touching their phone. The results were shocking. Group B had 54% higher productivity, 3x higher creativity levels, 30% lower stress, and more satisfying sleep, even though both groups slept the same amount of hours. Not because of sleep, but because of how they woke up. Let me tell you a story. A musician named Aaron struggled to finish his songs. He woke up and reached for his phone. Emails, messages, social media. Before creating anything, he consumed everything. His mind was full yet empty. He tried productivity apps. Nothing worked. Then he tried silence. The first hour, no phone, just breath movement and intention. After 2 weeks, he finished 2 songs. After 1 year, an entire album. And he said something powerful. Silence was not empty, it was full of answers. Let's get practical. Try this tomorrow morning. The Stoic Digital Shield Practice. Put your phone in another room before sleeping. Use a real alarm clock, not your phone. When you wake up, do not touch your phone. Instead, breathe, write your 3-line Stoic journal, move your body. You might struggle on day 1. You might fail on day 2. But on day 3, your mind will feel different. And on day 7, you will understand something powerful. The world will take as much of your mind as you allow. So limit what it takes and guard what is yours. Marcus Aurelius knew this. That's why he said, ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? This question alone can save you years of distraction. But listen, this shield is not just digital. It is mental. It is a reminder that your mind is sacred ground. Not a marketplace for noise, but a temple for clarity. The Stoics teach us that silence is not empty. It is strength. It is direction. It is leadership. Law 5, the 3-line journal. Most people don't know how to think. They only know how to react. Their mind is not a sword, it's a sponge soaking everything around it. But a Stoic sharpens the mind before the world touches it. That is why Marcus Aurelius didn't write diaries. He wrote battle plans. He didn't journal to organize his thoughts. He journaled to lead his thoughts. We live in a world drowning in noise, notifications, opinions, expectations, algorithms, social pressure. And when your mind is under attack, writing becomes your shield. Your thoughts, written with clarity, become a strategy. That's why Marcus Aurelius wrote every morning and every night to protect his mind from becoming a battlefield of confusion. He said the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, and writing is how we choose the color. Let me share something powerful. Harvard Business Review found that people who spend just 3 minutes journaling each morning were 52% more focused, 34% less stressed, and 27% more likely to complete important tasks during the day. Not because writing solves problems, but because writing reveals them. You cannot control the day if you don't first understand your mind. And Marcus Aurelius understood this long before neuroscience existed. Say it with me, I write to lead. Not to reflect, but to direct. Now here's how we do it. The Stoic journal is not a diary. It is 3 lines, only 3. Because clarity should be quick, precise, and ruthless. Tomorrow morning, write this. Line 1, what will I control today? You cannot control everything, but you can control your response. And your response determines everything. Marcus wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. This line reminds you of that power. Line 2, what will I let go of? Anxiety comes from holding on. Stress comes from trying to fix what is not yours to fix. When you write what you will release, your nervous system relaxes. You create space for strength. Line 3, what act of strength will I do today? Not in your head, not someday, today. Strength is not an idea, it is movement. A Stoic does not chase motivation. A Stoic moves first, and motivation follows. Reset moment, say it slowly. 3 lines, 1 direction. Let me tell you a true story. A young lawyer from Chicago named Elena struggled with overthinking and panic. Every morning she felt overwhelmed before even starting her day. She tried therapy, meditation, even medication, but nothing worked until she found a simple Stoic practice, the three-line journal. For 60 days straight, she wrote every morning. Line 1, I will control my focus. Line 2, I will let go of things I cannot predict. Line 3, I will speak with confidence in today's meeting. That's it. 3 lines that changed everything. She later said, I didn't fix my life. I started leading it one morning at a time. Marcus Aurelius said, don't let your mind run against yourself. Writing prevents that. Writing is defense. Writing is control. Let's reset again. Deep breath, silence. There is also neuroscience behind this. Dr. James Pennebaker, a psychologist at the University of Texas, found that expressive writing, even just a few minutes, improves memory, mood, and emotional control. More importantly, it activates the brain's prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for decision-making. Simply put, writing helps you respond instead of react. That is pure stoicism. Marcus Aurelius didn't write for inspiration. He wrote for clarity. He wrote to strip away excuses. He wrote to choose strength over confusion. Say it with me now, I choose clarity over chaos. I write. I lead. So tomorrow morning, before the world invades your mind, write your 3 lines. Do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for time. Because time is not given, it is taken. And when you write, you take it back. Your mind will resist. It will say, I don't need this. But the Stoics knew that resistance is the signal to begin. There is a reason this practice survived 2,000 years. It works. It protects. It reshapes identity every morning. And remember, discipline is not built by doing everything. It is built by doing the right things consistently. 3 lines every day. That is enough. Marcus Aurelius wrote before facing armies, politics, betrayal, death, uncertainty. Yet he found clarity with just pen and ink. If he could lead his mind under pressure, so can you. Start writing, start leading. But don't forget this, the Stoic mind does not live only in words. It must live in the body. And that brings us to the next law. Because Marcus Aurelius was not only a philosopher, he was a warrior. And warriors know that clarity of mind requires strength of body. Are you ready to move? Then let's continue. Law 6, physical movement, mental movement. The mind cannot move if the body stays still. We often wait to feel ready before we act. But the Stoics knew the truth. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. Marcus Aurelius was emperor, philosopher, and general. Yet every morning he moved his body before he moved his mind. Why? Because without physical activation, the mind remains trapped in its own fog. Marcus wrote, to live is to be active. Sloth is death. Powerful. Direct. Uncomfortable, just like movement should be. Reset moment, inhale energy, exhale hesitation. We live in a time where movement is optional. Elevators instead of stairs. Food ordered instead of cooked. Hours sitting, eyes fixed on screens. But what happens when the body slows down? The mind slows down with it. Studies from the University of Illinois show that just 5 minutes of light movement in the morning increases cognitive function by 62% for the rest of the day. Not intense exercise, not a full workout, just movement. Let me say that again, 5 minutes can change the next 12 hours of your brain. Say it with me. Motion creates emotion. Movement creates momentum. But here's the problem. When people think of exercise, they think of effort. Sweat, pain, routine time, it becomes too big. The Stoics never thought this way. They believed in simplicity, because complexity creates hesitation. So here's the Stoic rule for the morning. Do not aim for results. Aim for movement. No pressure, no goals, no numbers. Just 5 minutes to prove you are not ruled by comfort. Let me give you the Stoic morning movement ritual. Stand up, roll your shoulders. Stretch your arms, stretch your spine. 10 push-ups or wall push-ups if you need. 10 squats or seated squats if needed. Walk. Anywhere. Just 2 minutes. Total time 5 minutes. Purpose, momentum, not performance. Marcus Aurelius didn't train to get fit. He trained to stay ready. The body is not decoration, it is armor. Let me tell you a story. A 45-year-old accountant named David was burned out mentally and physically. He told himself he would change his life after things calmed down. They never did. He decided to test a simple rule after hearing a Stoic lesson. No matter how I feel, 5 minutes of movement before anything else. Within 30 days, his energy returned. His anxiety decreased. He wrote more, spoke more confidently, and even reconnected with his wife and kids. When asked what changed, he said only this: I stopped waiting to feel strong and started acting strong. Let that line sink in. Reset moment, breathe in strength, breathe out doubt. Your body sends signals to your brain every second. When you move, your body tells your brain, we are alive, we are ready, we are capable. When you avoid movement, your body whispers, let's stay safe, let's stay small. Which message do you want to live by? Neuroscientist Dr. Wendy Suzuki found that a single bout of movement, even as small as 5 minutes, increases levels of serotonin and dopamine, making it easier to focus and feel good about starting your day. That's not motivation, that's chemistry. That's stoicism in biological form. Marcus Aurelius said, what's bad for the hive is bad for the bee, meaning when your body suffers, your mind cannot fully thrive. So move, because motion is medicine. Say it with me: I don't move to look better. I move to think better. Do not wait for motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Action is the path. A warrior does not wait to feel ready. A warrior acts to become ready. And sometimes your body needs to speak before your mind does. Every push-up is a statement. Every step is a declaration. Every breath is a reminder I am still here and I am still capable. Let's reset one last time. Inhale power, exhale resistance. Now listen carefully. You don't need discipline for an hour. You only need discipline for now, for this very moment. And if you can own this moment, you own the next, and then the next. That is how warriors are built, not in giant leaps, but in consistent steps. And when you move your body, something special happens. Your thoughts begin to move too. Suddenly you feel direction, intention, control. That's not coincidence. That's biology, philosophy, and practice aligning in silence. And if 5 minutes can do this, imagine what 5 weeks could do. Imagine what 5 months could create. Marcus Aurelius didn't hope to be strong. He trained to stay strong. And that is the Stoic path: not to wait, but to act. Not to feel ready, but to become ready. One movement at a time. One breath at a time. One powerful morning at a time. But even movement is not enough, because the world is not always kind. People will test you. Envy will surround you. Weakness will challenge you. Comfort will tempt you. That's why the Stoics prepared something even stronger. Not for the body, but for the soul. A protection of identity. A silent shield you carry inside. Are you ready for it? Law number 7, the inner dialogue. A warrior doesn't wait for peace, he carries it within. The world will test you. People will challenge you. Some will drain your energy, some will distract you, and some will try to make you become like them. And this is why the Stoics built their final shield, not made of iron, not made of stone, but made of words. Marcus Aurelius wrote a mantra he repeated every morning before seeing anyone, before speaking, before judging the day ahead. He warned himself, today I will meet people who are selfish, angry, jealous, arrogant, but I will not become one of them. This is the inner dialogue, a Stoic conversation with yourself, a reminder that other people's behavior does not control your character. Reset moment, inhale, calm, exhale, reaction. Many people wake up and give their mood to the world. They let others decide how they feel. A rude message ruins their morning. A negative comment kills their motivation. A bad driver makes them angry for hours. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us nothing has the power to harm you unless you allow it inside. Say it with me. They can act how they want, but I choose who I will be. This is not philosophy. This is psychology. In fact, research from Stanford University shows that simply naming a potential challenge before it occurs reduces emotional reactivity by up to 40%. Meaning when you prepare your mind, you protect it. That is what the inner dialogue does. It builds emotional armor before the world attacks. Let me give you a real example. A nurse named Clara worked in emergency care. Every day she faced stress, panic, anger, and fear, not her own but from others. She began each shift repeating a Stoic mantra: people are hurting. I will not mirror their pain. I will choose my response. After months of practicing, this other nurses asked her how she stayed so calm under pressure. She simply said, my day does not begin at work. It begins in my mind. Let's reset. Deep breath. Remind yourself, I am not responsible for their behavior, only for my response. Here's how you can build your own stoic inner dialogue tomorrow morning. Before opening your phone, before speaking to anyone, whisper, today I will challenge stress or negativity, but I will not become it. This simple sentence shifts your identity. Because stoicism is not about controlling life, it's about controlling the space between stimulus and response. That space is who you are. Neurologist Viktor Frankl, who survived Nazi concentration camps, said something powerful. Between stimulus and response, there exists a space. In that space lies our freedom and our power. That is stoicism. That is strength. That is your shield. Say it with me. The space is mine. My response is mine. My character is mine. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but he never allowed the empire to rule his mind. He refused to be enslaved by anger. He refused to be controlled by praise or hatred. That is why he wrote, if anyone can prove me wrong, I will gladly change. But until then, I will follow my nature as long as it is good. He was not afraid to be corrected. He was afraid to betray his values. Let me share a story. A father once taught his son a lesson while walking through a busy marketplace. People were shouting, bargaining, complaining. The father said, walk through this entire market, but hold this cup of water without spilling it. The boy tried. He walked slowly, concentrating, ignoring everything around him. When he returned, the father asked, did you hear the arguments? The noise, the anger? The boy shook his head. No, I was focused on protecting the water. The father said that water is your peace. When you protect it, the world gets quieter. Reset, inhale, peace, exhale, distraction. The inner dialogue is this: I will not absorb their anger. I will not mirror their negativity. I will not join their chaos. Because as Epictetus said, if someone tries to provoke you, remember it is your own opinion that makes this upsetting. So train your opinion. Don't let reactions run your life. Let reason lead and let principles protect. Here's your stoic inner dialogue exercise for tomorrow. Before leaving your room, repeat one of these out loud. I am calm, even when others are not. My peace is my responsibility. Today I will lead, not react. Say it until you feel it. Feel it until you live it. Because your eyes don't decide your reality. Your reaction does. Marcus Aurelius proved it when everything around him was unstable, his mind remained still. Because the Stoic does not wait for peace. He carries it within him. This is the heart of Stoicism. Not rejection of emotion, but mastery of response. Not escape from the world, but strength to stand inside it unchanged. Now you have completed all 7 Stoic morning laws. Let's breathe together one last time. Inhale, strength. Exhale, excuses. These laws are not motivation. They are not inspiration. They are discipline. They are direction. They are the beginning of a different version of you. But now comes the real test. Will you live them? Not tomorrow. Today. If you're ready to build your morning like Marcus Aurelius, comment below. I will win my morning. And I promise you will win more than the morning. You will win yourself. If this message inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel Making Life Better so you can build your mind one Stoic habit at a time. Now go build your day like a Stoic. And if you want a complete Stoic night routine to end your day with strength, click on the next video. Your morning has just begun.